This is the Second Chance at Health podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Brad Hassig. Come join me as we remove confusion from the hottest health topics by discussing the latest research, along with what we've seen with thousands of our patients and amongst our community, family, friends, and people all over the nation and world. Let's dig in. Hey, this is Dr. Brad Hassig with the Second Chance at Health podcast. This is episode number 4. How to achieve greater strength through Christ and strength training. Strength training is something that I've always really enjoyed. My father got me started on doing push-ups and pull-ups and running at a young age. Gained passion for that. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad, for many things. But starting to lift weights and do things like that, I started pretty young. I always had a passion for that and knew that strength training had a lot of different benefits for me. One of my favorite verses is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's right in there, strength. So strength through Christ, and also He wants us to work. He wants to work with what He's given us, the best us, whatever that is. So there's many different benefits from resistance training. It doesn't have to just be lifting weights, and I'll go over that. Obviously, increased strength. You get flexibility with it. Balance is a great thing. Increased basal metabolic rate, your metabolism, even when you're at rest. Weight loss, decreased body fat, decrease the bad body fat, increase brown fat, good fats, increased bone density, something called osteoblastic activity. Anytime that there's stress onto your skeleton, onto your bones, your body's response to that is to increase that osteoblastic activity, which is going to increase bone density. So anyone that's looking at things like osteopenia, osteoporosis, strength training is a great way to help to kind of reverse some of the effects. Or for the younger folks or people that haven't experienced that yet, it's a great way to try and stave that off, prevent that if we can do that. It increases testosterone, growth hormone, regulation of insulin, insulin-like growth factor, increases mood, decreases depression, anxiety, and better sleep. Those are just some of the many, many wonderful benefits of strength training. There's different types, as I mentioned. Free weights is something I do. I've loved, powerlifting, high school football. I loved all of that. Many people love it. Some people don't. So there's different types of resistance training. You can have resistance bands, TRX straps, machines, body weight exercises. I highly recommend, if you've never exercised before, or if you have but you really don't know what you're doing, get a trainer. The cost of what the trainer is nothing compared to what a visit to your orthopedist would be, or if you have to have any type of surgery. So get a trainer, at least a few sessions. You don't always have to use one. If you can, it's great because they can see things. They can cue you to make sure that you're doing it the right way, get the most benefit, but also keep you safe. At least go and have them show you how to do things. Most gyms will have sessions that they can take you through things. Even boot camps, group workouts, things like that. Those are all great types of things that you can, different varieties of things. You'll notice with all this that I'm going to go over, variety, kind of keep it fresh. That's why after 30, maybe 35, 36, at least years of resistance training, even lifting weights that I've been doing this, I still love it. I went earlier today, and it's something I love. Hopefully, as long as I'm physically able and I have breath in my lungs, it's something that I'll do. I enjoy it. I love the way that it makes me feel, and I know the benefits it's going to have now and also down the road. So, one of the best ways, some of the research has shown full body exercises, routines are some of the best things that you can do. It's for time, for effects on the body. I'll talk, like I said, increasing growth hormone, testosterone, the effects on insulin, insulin-like growth factor. There's a great study, 2005, the Journal of Sports Medicine, and they talked about some of the anabolic effects of acute changes after resistance training in growth hormone, testosterone, insulin-like growth factor. Looking at, like I said, insulin, the effects on that. Insulin, you're going to have the uptake blood sugar and also amino acids and the effects that the resistance training is going to have on that. So there's so many good benefits with that. There's a ton of research that shows the benefits of doing this. So when you, and I'm talking about specifically, if we have, I know have friends that are highly competitive power lifters or bodybuilders. I'm not talking about that specific group. There's all different types of splits that you can get into. You can do upper body one day, lower body one day. You can do all of your pushes, all of your pulls, and that's things that I'm on. If you're looking to really bodybuilding type of stuff, or if you're getting into powerlifting type of stuff, there's very different programs. That's not really what I'm talking about today. I'll be happy to touch on those in the future. This is more getting the general, anything from young people starting off. Even this is stuff that I do with my boys that are currently 11. I've done some of these full body exercises and routines with them. Body weight only at this point. They're doing great with that, but all the way up to your 90s, there's things that you can do this with. So when you're looking at how to kind of put these things together, where do I start? How do I do this? Break things down. Each workout, I'm going to break these down into 4 sections, four different lifts that I'll pick on any given workout. I'm going to have some form of a squat, some form of a hinge, some form of a push, and some form of a pull. And that's going to hit your whole body. A squat, obviously doing squats, various different types of squats. You can do it with a bar, you can do it body weight, you can do goblet squats. There's all different methods of doing that, doing things on your back, doing things in the front. There's a lot of different varieties, and change it up each workout. Hinge, the most common thing that you're going to think of is going to be a deadlift or some form of a deadlift. With weights, yes, you can have a barbell. You can have dumbbells. I love the trap bars for any people that love to lift weights. The trap bar is going to keep the center of gravity closer over your hips. So I really like, from a spine standpoint as a chiropractor, I really like that exercise. It tends to help maintain your form better. You can lift more weight safer in a lot of cases. So that's a great one. You can also do stiff leg deadlifts. There's a lot of different types of, and I'll give you some ideas on those as well. A push is going to be obviously push up, a bench press, any sort of pressing, and go at different angles. You can have a flat type of bench press, dumbbell press, push up. You can change the angles, incline, decline, flies, anything like that. That's going to get your pressing types of exercises, shoulder press, anything above head. And then obviously a pull. Pull-ups is going to be one thing, any sort of rowing activity. Like I said, it doesn't have to be weights. Love TRX straps. It's something they're just they're hard, but you can change the intensity of it by the way that you stay in the position. So you can make it really easy to very, very challenging, very hard. So it's the instability of those straps are what lead to greater, not only gains muscle-wise, but the supporting muscles, the stabilizing muscles. So I'm really a big fan of those. Like I said, vary the exercises. It's rare that I'll do the exact same workout, two workouts in a row. I'm changing something just to kind of keep your body guessing. Now, you can do things if you've got something you really enjoy. You can do it. I wouldn't do the same thing for more than 3 or 4 weeks in a row at most. Now, I kind of get bored with that, so I would change that up. Even if you like to lift weights, do TRX one day. I'll do that stuff at home if I run short on time. The repetitions, change those as well. Obviously, if you're down if you're trying to gain strength, your 3 to 5 reps is 3 to 6, you're going to kind of be in that range. Once you start get 7 to 10, 12, you're getting more of your muscle building hypertrophy. and then toning in that. But even some of that, the current research is saying vary some of that. You can gain size and strength with, 15, 20 reps. Just change it up to make it fun. You can also change the tempo, keep it controlled. Unless you're powerlifting, you're trying to set records. I'm way, way past that point in my life of trying to see how much I can do. It's more about safety and longevity. And so change the tempo. You can go down, take longer going down on that eccentric portion of it, which is the muscle is lengthening, and then fast going up in the concentric, reverse that. There's different ways so play around with the tempo of what you're doing. Time under tension. It's not so much just the number of repetitions, it's the amount of time that your body is under tension. So you can increase that with the number of repetitions, the number of sets, how many sets. And a set, for people that aren't familiar, is how many times you're doing a particular exercise. The repetitions is how many times you're doing it within that particular set. And so you can change the number of sets, the number of reps, and the tempo. Those are ways that you're going to change the time under tension. Is the most important thing, is what the current research is telling us with that. Also change the rest periods, rest and recovery. With full body workouts, a lot of times I'll go back and forth. If I'm wanting to have shorter rest periods, I'll do a push and pull together. So you might do push-ups and pull-ups with very little rest between those. If I'm not going heavy, if it's just more higher repetitions, moderate intensity of doing it, I'll have pretty short rest, a minute, sometimes even 30 seconds what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll do them back to back to back and then rest between those. So I may do a squat, I may do a push, a pull, and some form of a hinge. Another hinge, as I'm thinking about that, it would be your kettlebell swings. For those of you that like to do that, you could do those 4 in a row and then rest after that. So there's a lot of different ways that you can play with this. Make it fun. Try and make it safe. It's really not about how much you're doing. It's just keeping your body under tension, having resistance on it, and then it's your body's response to that stress that you're putting on it. Make sure, if you're doing these types of workouts, these full body types of workouts, I might do 3, at most 3 to 5, but typically I'm going to do about 3 sets of, when I'm doing full body workout, of each one of those lifts. The reps vary, like I said, depending on what my goals are, what I'm feeling that day, the time of the year. Let's be honest with that. So it makes it fun. 2 to 3 workouts at most with full body workouts is what I'm doing. Try and have at least a day in between. It's rare that I would ever do a full body workout 2 days in a row. I just, at least at my current age is 48. I can't recover from that. I can't recover appropriately. I'm going to have some sort of cardio session the next day. I'm going to walk my dog. I might run, might get on the Peloton, something like that. If it's been a hard workout, I'm going to have more of a recovery cardio session the next day with that. Go for a hike, something, find something that you enjoy with that. A bare minimum, do it once. And that's the great thing that I love about, one of many things about full body workouts. You have all those other effects. If you do a full body workout and you have to travel, you're going on vacation, something crazy comes up, you've hit your full body for the week. I feel good. You're not going to lose anything in a week if you've already done that workout. So that's another thing that's great. If you're breaking it down into body parts, doing chest, shoulders, tries, back and bis one day, legs one day, and something comes up, then you're walking around like that guy that doesn't do legs. And that's not good. So I like to have as many functional movements as possible and train your body to work together, because that's life. That's what we're doing when you're playing with kids, playing with grandkids, doing stuff around the house, doing stuff for work, all of this, yard work. All of this, these are functional types of movements. You're using your whole body. So I firmly believe, for these goals, like I said, that the full body workout is going to give you the best bang for your buck. So I hope that you found this information interesting. Please leave your comments and questions, thoughts below. Let me know what you do. Let me know what you found to be effective. Also give me ideas on different things that you would like for me to cover. I know we'll definitely be covering some nutrition going forward, but this was something I had a lot of questions within the last week from patients on this, asking me different things. Hey, what do you personally do? So I wanted to cover this. I wanted to address this. Let me finish with another one of my favorite Bible verses here, Ephesians 6:10-18. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything, to stand. Stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. I hope you've enjoyed this. Like I said, leave questions. Ask for future topics. I'd love to share with that. And take care, be safe, and go with God.